consider what they are a gang?
Absolutely not. Groups of individuals, friends, that have taken up firearms to settle disputes or deal with their anger. Don't come anywhere close to meeting the most requisite requirements. Problematic? Do they fight with each other? Are they groups? Absolutely. But to classify this as a gang problem and gang members, it is not that in any way, shape, or form.
That was Billings Police Chief Rich St. John 1 year ago discussing the prevalence of gangs in Billings.
Tonight, it's a different story. And with 3 drive-by shootings in less than 2 days, many are wondering whether gangs might be behind a recent spike in youth gun violence in the Magic City.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Andrea Lutz.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. Billings police say they're seeing an increase in violent crime connected to young people affiliated with a gang.
And the department is now designating an additional resource towards squashing what the chief calls a bubbling issue. I spoke with Rich St. John about what that looks like and what's changed in the past 2 summers.
I think it was like 3 in the morning. We heard gunshots.
Gunshots hitting homes.
Knowing that my neighbors down the street had got shot up the week before.
Children shot as innocent bystanders. Even bullets flying in public crowds.
A bit more organization than we've seen before.
There's been a turning point in the crime in Billings.
We know that we have some warring groups. Different ends of town, we know that.
Gangs starting to rise up, becoming more brazen. Symbols painted around town are a dead giveaway and a designation of territories.
But the graffiti specifically is a message.
Then comes the retaliation, as seen with several of our recent violent crimes.
We have a problem that's on the cusp here. We've always had these individuals present.
That's prompted Billings Police Chief Rich St. John to change the way officers are handling things on the streets. It's an adjustment he says is slight for now.
All I did was, basically retask our street crimes unit, which was doing street crimes, and say, hey, a little more attention over here.
But just days after this interview, another home on the south side shot up and an 11-year-old girl struck while she was sound asleep.
My grandkids were so scared.
Then bullets flew into a different home 24 hours later.
These are gangs. These aren't just not kids that have beef with each other.
While police haven't said if gang activity is behind these drive-bys, Tanya Ludwig lives in the area she says is riddled with gang activity.
300 block gang. It's their territory.
Even losing her son to what she says was gang influence.
It's too close for comfort. And we need to stop this before it gets out of hand. It is already out of hand.
Chief Rich St. John understands the concern and says this cycle of crime is something his officers are trying to break.
The number one way we are most successful in reducing crime is with our proactive units.
Proactive policing, meaning seeking out crime, not being reactive. In Billings, that means the Street Crimes Division is working to gain intelligence, and an officer now focused largely on gangs. And a little help from the feds doesn't hurt.
There's a big gun violence problem here in this community.
It's why St. John had a conversation with Montana U.S. Attorney Jesse Laslovich, who deals mostly with the Mexican cartel in our community. But nonetheless, prosecution of a gang member packs a certain punch at the federal level.
We are unwavering in our commitment with our local and state partners to try to keep this community safe.
A goal everyone can agree with gun violence involving teens on the rise.
I know you're going to ask me at some point in time, flat out, do we have a gang problem? I'm going to tell you succinctly yes and no. Yes, we have gangs here. And then no, because we're not at that level where it's completely out of control and there's no way that we can manage it.
It's not just Billings police acting on this recent uprise in gang activity. I'm told the sheriff's office, ATF, probation and parole, and the attorney's office are now all on high alert tackling this issue.